This is Pop Culture Confidential, and I'm Christina Yerling Biru. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's mid-October. That means sweater weather and great cinema, plus a couple of fun topics here on Pop Culture Confidential. We're going to get an award season update. What's the state of the race? And the real Marty Supreme, Marty Scorsese. We're going to talk about Rebecca Miller's new doc-series, Mr. Scorsese, that premieres on October 17th on Apple TV+. Back with us, friend of Pop Culture Confidential, or should I say long-lost friend. It's been a few weeks. Ryan McQuade of Awards Watch is back. Hey, buddy, I was about to start a true crime podcast to track you down. What the hell?
I've been up with the Sisters of the Brave Beaver in the Chupacabra Hills, and I've just been hanging out.
Everything.
I got
small
lost
beers.
up there. Yeah, a few small beers. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I missed you. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me back on. It's always a blast to be here. And yes, I feel like if I'm not talking to you, well, we talk weekly, or we talk all the time.
We keep.
But like the listeners don't
radar.
Hear us every week. But like,
I don't think they'd want to hear our little combos. Would you think so? Or maybe they.
I think that I don't know if I want them to hear our little convo. Sometimes, to be fair, we talk about a lot of things, folks, and trust me, like, some of it's politics, some of it's it's just. Random shit that we've seen. Like Christina texted me this morning, the Christopher Nolan talking about Dwayne Johnson's, thing. And it's like,
yes. Thoughts?
And I just wanted to.
It's your guy.
What's he gonna say to Benny Safdie, who he's worked with twice now? Like, is he gonna say nothing but glow? It's one of those things. It's like he trapped himself and did this as a favor for him, but like he also like loves PTA. So it's so you have to say nice things when you're in front of people, and he's British. He's like somewhat British, somewhat American. So there's that kindness in there, but that's also like a ton of lying that's in there as well too. So, like I don't buy it, but sure. Good for The Rock. Like he got mentioned by Christopher
Like
Nolan.
Spielberg, who's going between his own film Hamnet, which he produced, and just loving PTA. And what's he going to do come Oscar season with these two incredible movies?
I know who he's voting for. He's voting for Sinners. Like he's just gonna. Yeah. It's just to be like you thought, and then he switches teams at the last second. Who would have known that like Spielberg was the guy that's just gonna like court everyone, because he did the PTA at the DGA conversation.
He did. I listened to that. It was such a great conversation. I
very
love
funny.
When Spielberg gets so enthusiastic.
He was very animated about it, wasn't he?
So animated. He just loved it.
Yeah, and then Marty did the one in New York.
They're just I love that they're just loving everything this season. Don't you think? These
very much so.
Old masters are coming out and just.
I do hope that Nolan does a conversation with PTA later in the year. I think that would be wonderful, because they're both the celluloid boys at this point. Like they're the big masters of the IMAX 70 millimeter VistaVision formats. So. I would honestly love to hear them talk, and they're very close
Taylor
friends.
Swift's.
Well, okay.
You wanted the three-way conversation.
No, I've gotten enough trouble for bringing up that shit. So like, I don't need to bring her up anymore. It feels like everyone wants to try to get me riled up and angry. So they just bring up the two words that upset me the most. I will say this.
Poking the bear.
Can I say this? You know what's very funny out there is all these performative assholes who call out billionaires and say billionaires are ruining the planet, and yet give hundreds, thousands of dollars to her. And she's a billionaire. And she's a capitalist. So
you don't think you're getting in trouble for saying this? You didn't want
No, I don't think so. I think this is universal fact.
All right.
It's like we shouldn't support music videos that are just lyric videos on the screen. We support independent, great cinema, big swings. And I'm still mad that she took PTA screens. I'm still mad about it. I don't care. Call me whatever you want. It's the facts. The facts are the facts. She could have done this any other time. She could have just released all of the music videos on YouTube. It's all for money. It's a capitalist move. I don't like capitalists like that.
All
So
right.
there you go.
Got you riled up
Yeah,
anyway. You
she
said
she
you
knew what
wouldn't,
to
Nibble.
do. Yeah, she knew what to do. Christina knows. She's pressing my buttons early in this episode.
All right. We have some fun stuff to talk about, but first I want to have you on because to talk about award season and the state of
Yeah.
the race. It's October. You always come on to do that. I want to do focus on the above the line categories
Okay.
this week and then get you on for the other ones later. So
Yeah.
that would be, of course, the screenplays, the actors, director, and picture. Why
Mhm.
don't we start with director? Since you were
Okay.
talking about the celluloid boys over there and Coogler, who are you seeing at the moment?
Well, I think it's Paul Thomas Anderson is right up at the front of the line. Christina knows that been me and Sophia have been on this for a long time about PTA, and um, we were telling you back at Telluride that this was
Oh,
going to happen, and
before that.
even before that, we were saying, I think we were telling you this at Cannes. And so we've been on it for a while. I mean, Sophia even said that back in last year when we were talking about, oh, Brady Corbett's not going to win because the real 70 or the real Vista Vision guy is going to be PTA the next year. So um, I think PTA is right up at the front. I don't say the L word, which are locked. But I think he's locked for a nomination, and it's pretty already close to a win. Just the
Hmm.
way you hear about people talk about it. Like I saw this video, Sophia sent it to me because we're like on both on like one battle after another watch. And that's what the website's going to be called now. But the premiere in London for Wake Up Dead Man, they're interviewing all these people on all the cast on the carpet, and they're talking about like, what's the last movie you saw that was great? And every single person, including Ryan Johnson, said one battle after another, one battle after another. One Glenn Close, Kerry
So
Washington,
did Taylor
uh,
Swift.
like everybody is talking about the film, and it's it's the movie, Christina, that dominated New York Film Festival. I know we'll talk about that in a minute, but like it was the one where like that festival just didn't matter. Like when you were on the ground, like people were talking about one battle, or have you seen one battle, or which format have you seen that in? And I think that that goes to the sort of trajectory that we've had over the last couple of years, where the last 2 years it's been about these auteurs that are making films that are sort of the culmination of their career, being celebrated by the Academy. And I think PTA fits that mold. And he also fits the mold of like the Daniels, which is taking a swing and making something extremely personal, like Chloe Zhao
Or Sean
you know
Baker's
or Sean
trying to.
Baker. So I and doing it to the level of someone like Christopher Nolan with a $130 million film, and the movie is continuing to have a very good word of mouth run. It's not going to make all of its money back here, but it's going to do worldwide. It'll probably get close to 150, 200 in that range, and it'll do really well for itself. And then I think it'll play really well on VOD. And so I think I'm sorry, I think PTA, well, Nolan's going to help because he's the new president of the TGA, and I
TGA,
think
yeah.
he's going to pat his buddy on the back and hand him that medallion. But I think that PTA is there, and I think Chloe Zhao's right after him. Oh, actually, no, I think Chloe Zhao's number three.
Ooh.
Um, I've changed this opinion. I think Jafar Panahi is number two. I think that what he has done this season and what Neon have done with him is a
He's
crazy great campaign.
it's an incredible campaign. Just had that
Yeah.
long talk with Marty.
Scorsese.
Hmm.
Yeah. In Alice Tully Hall, and they like sold it out again after it getting canceled, but he had the whole visa thing. They cleared the visa thing up, which kind of makes me want Neon to run the Department of Immigration because like good Lord, they were able to get that fixed like ASAP. You know what I mean? So and he's everywhere. He's talking to everyone. People are responding to it. It just won the international prize at the Mill Valley Film Festival where Eric was at. It makes its way to Middleburg, and then it'll be out in theaters, and and then people are going to continue to see it. They're kind of getting gobsmacked by that ending, which we've talked about.
And it's
And
I
he's
don't know if I agree with you. I mean, I do think that he's up there, but I have to say both Chloe Zhao and Joachim Trier, I think,
oh no,
are
I think they're
doing
right
great.
up there. I think that all four of those are. I actually think that those are like the four that I'm the most confident on.
Mm,
And I would say that those are four of the five. And then the
yeah.
fifth spot becomes a very interesting thing because Christina, I do not think until I have to see it to believe it, but I have Ryan Coogler missing right now.
You do? Oh, I
Yeah,
don't.
I do.
Whoa,
I
talk
think
about
I
this.
think
For
it's going to
who?
I think well, that's the thing. Right now, I have Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein.
Oh no.
I'm telling you,
Okay,
the
tell me
movie
because
because it's won the audience award at TIFF. It has
lots of
played
stuff wins the audience award at TIFF that we never hear from again.
well.
It wasn't
The audience award at TIFF usually does really well. Take Life of Chuck out of it. It is like American Fiction one, and
okay, yeah.
and I could go down the laundry list of these movies that have done the Fablemans and everything like have done well. Nominations, wins doesn't matter. Like they usually become Oscar fare. Del Toro is a beloved master in the industry. The reception has changed since its Telluride premiere when we saw it, where Tiff ate it up with a
Well, those
spoon.
people are wrong.
And I listen. It's also played really. I've seen it play really well with members of various voting bodies, and upon the second viewing, I think it's better. It's better to not watch that movie, Christina, at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay,
That
I'll
was a
give it
yeah,
to
yeah, and you cannot deny the craftsmanship of that. Also,
absolutely not. I'm not.
I think he was very, very, very close for Nightmare Alley. He has then gone on to win for Pinocchio, and he's talking once again about like this connection to his father and connection with his son. I sat in on the press conference for that, and I was just kind of like, God, this guy really knows how to campaign a room. And there's a little like thing that we haven't that not a lot of people know about is that like Kugler doesn't like to campaign that much. He's his reps right now. He no longer has those reps anymore for his PR. It seems like he's having a change of that. Kind of going the
He's
PTA
not
route.
in the
PT.
academy at all,
He's
is
not
he?
in the
No.
academy. And he because he felt burned by Judas and the Black Messiah or Black Panther or one of those two, and he didn't accept the bid because no, it was Judas and the Black Messiah because Shaka King didn't get into director, and he felt very jaded by that whole experience and everything. And I feel like as much as I want him to get in because I think his direction in that movie is phenomenal. We talked about that film before. I do think that there's going to be this he's going to have to play the game. And I don't know how much of the game he's willing to play. And I don't know how much Michael B. Jordan's going to be out on the scene because he's shooting Thomas Crown Affair. So I could see a world where this is like the Dune of the year, where it is a massive tech player. It doesn't get a single acting nomination. It squeaks in the screenplay, and he's the populist filmmaker that misses out on the nomination for Del Toro or for Secret Agent or Noah Baumbach or Josh Safdie or somebody like that,
Yorgos.
or Yorgos
For me,
who or
Yorgos, uh, Kleber Mendoza Filov for
yeah,
Secret Agent, all of
Agent.
those I actually see. Even John Chu, I see before Guillermo
Oh,
del Toro.
go.
If you ask me, I'm just
Oh,
saying. But I have
oh,
Coogler in
that
there.
hurts. Um,
I'm not saying it's a
don't.
preference. I'm
No, no.
saying
Oh,
that
God, what's that coming in the sky? It's John M. Chu in a bad Oscar campaign. Well, he is. I did tell this to Eric. He got. He's getting a prize. He got a prize at Mill Valley. He's getting a prize at Middleburg. They're gonna ramp, even though they're not screening the film at all, which is silly. Like they are ramping up the whole Wicked for Good thing. Though at the time of recording, it seems like the embargo is after the fan screenings, the Amazon fan screenings. Talk about if you support Wicked, you support Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Just putting that out there. But again, I'm going after all the billionaires today. But also screams as a sign of like, wait a minute, the embargo's dropping after all the fans and the money is being made. Maybe it is what I've been saying all along, that the second act of that musical is as bad as it is, because it is that bad. So like, we'll have to remain to be seen. Also, Christina, I know you don't care, but there's also this guy called Big Jim that's lurking out there in the waters too. And if people love that movie, he's been nominated before. So, and
The
he's a
only thing
previous
would be
winner.
fun if it would be Big Jim and Bigelow against each other again.
Well, that's the other one, is Catherine Bigelow. That's
Mm,
she's definitely in it. And then I think Train Dreams is another film
mhm.
that's
Yep.
very much in this race. Like Netflix has, man, they have so many films. They really do. So yeah, there's a ton of possibilities. And I think that PTA kind of fills the blockbuster
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
epic hold. And but I again, Coogler, that movie also came out in April. You've got all these movies playing. It
Yeah, but
had
it's done so
momentum.
well. It's so great. It'll
You're
be
gonna have they're
back
gonna
when
have
you
to,
talk about music. I mean,
for
I
sure.
I think it's gonna come.
But
I think it's gonna come roaring back.
you're gonna have Warner Brothers push it alongside with One Battle After Another. And I think they know that One Battle can win. I don't think Sinners is going to win Best Picture. I don't think the
Oh
vampire
no, I don't
movie is,
think that. I don't
you
think
know,
either. But I think
you
he's gonna
know,
be nominated. Is what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I just think there's going to be a full out blitz for One Battle, and I think that there's going to be some casualties, like for weapons and for F1 and for Sinners. They're all going to
Okay,
have a
what
miss.
about Surprise? What do you think? The other Safdie, Josh for Marnie Supreme.
I think that that could happen. I haven't seen the film. I know Sophia did, and I know she really liked it. I know that he rushed that edit to get it to that surprise screening. I also hold that surprise screening with a grain of salt. You're talking about like a bunch of New Yorkers, and a lot of them were A24 film bros that got to see it rather than Academy members. Um, and then Timmy's viral little campaign that I didn't really like, the whole um little video that I thought
Ping
was like,
pong ball
yeah,
thing.
yeah, I don't want to get into like what he said on it, but like, I'm not a prude, but like, for God's sakes, like that's not how you run an Oscar campaign. That's how you sell an ad for jeans or something. But I think that he could definitely. I mean, like, I think Timmy's going to get nominated. I think Jack Fisk will probably get nominated for production design because he's a legend. The movie's embargo is still under embargo. Like, they don't have an embargo date for reviews. So they're gonna screen it now, and they screened it in LA, and the screenings in LA did okay. You didn't hear the same like overwhelming praise as like a surprise screening, right? It was like, this is very good. And so it'll
Well, what
be
about let's
interesting.
move on to screenplay since we're talking about. You
Yeah.
think you'll get into screenplay, original screenplay?
Sure, I think it could. I mean, the problem with like the Safdies is that they are an unproven commodity at the Oscars. So they haven't. I mean, like Uncut Gems was in the same boat. Where like, is it going to get in as an aunt? And it got a bunch of Gotham and Indie Spirit nominations, and it didn't go all the way. Like, I mean, like for original screenplay, that's where I feel more confident for Sinners, and definitely for sentimental value. That feels like the movie that's out front.
Sentimental and Sinners are and then
Those, and then
screenplay.
Jay Kelly.
Hmm.
Jay Kelly's is there. I think this is where a surprise like Weapons could get in. This
Ooh,
is
that'd be
where If I
nice.
Had Legs I Kick You could get in. That's a surprise. It was just an accident. Those are the sort of films that I see in this race. I'd love if
House
like
of
something.
Dynamite? No,
I don't like that
no,
script, and I think that a lot of people are going to have issues with that movie. Like, that movie had a bad response in New York. Like, people didn't. It's just because it's a bad movie, but like the movie has a terrible ending because it has no ending. And
wasn't that
I
kind of
mean,
the point? I mean, the point
did
is
you see it?
getting there.
Did you like it?
I didn't dislike it. I mean, it's not her
But you didn't
best,
like it. That's the question.
but it wasn't because of the ending. I thought the ending was supposed to be. That's not what. I mean, it would have been just an action movie if we would have found out exactly who the enemy was. That wasn't the
No,
point.
I don't want to know who the
Point is, we're
enemy
all
is. I
fucked.
I want I no, I want to see what he like. I mean, to not spoil it, but what Idris Elba as the president decides. And I also felt like that movie is using like him as a caricature for Barack Obama. And it's like, no, I actually want to see a Trumpian president handle this. Like, again, I thought that script was very dated. Like we talked before on this podcast before we started recording about After the Hunt and it feeling dated. That movie felt dated to me by like
Mhm.
15 years. Like it had no sense of urgency from it. And also like why I think Weapons is like it's such a great film, and why House of Dynamite struggles is because they're both doing kind of similar structure, but one is doing a lot more new information with the reshowing of things or the different perspectives on certain scenes, and this just felt like the same third of a movie done three times. And but I think Bigelow's direction, I mean, like it's very tense,
Oh,
but
it's so
also it
tense.
feels but also
That's the best part.
it feels very Paul Greengrassy at
Mhm.
times too. So it's like, which is a movie that doesn't exist anymore.
But speaking of
But
After the Hunt, what about that screenplay? Because that was a screenplay that did not work for me.
no, that movie is not gonna. I don't think that movie's getting in anywhere. If it got in anywhere, it's probably Julia, and that's it. But
Who's great. I give her
she's
that.
great.
Mhm.
They are screening that movie already, like 1,000%. But if they were smart, if Amazon was smart, they get rid of the After the Hunt campaign and they'd focus on Hedda because that movie is great and fun and has wonderful performances. And Nia DaCosta's direction and Sean Babbitt's cinematography, like that's a real movie to push. And I think After the Hunt is like just a bad Sunday afternoon movie that you're watching, you know what I mean, in a couple of months on the screener pile.
But it has all their, it has Luca, it has the Me Too whole thing, it has Julia
Yeah,
and
but
Ayo, and
Luca doesn't translate to the Oscars. We saw this last year. He had two, they didn't do it. He hasn't had an Oscar film since Call Me by Your Name, and that film's like a lot of like he got in on that because of James Ivory. So it's so he, yeah, it's back to the drawing board. And I love Luca. We love Luca's films, but he's not somebody to I think consider in this type of category in these
well,
categories.
at the
But
moment,
like,
I think Sentimental Value is the one to beat in
oh yeah, I
original.
think
Yeah.
that's I resaw the film
I know, I know.
and I love it. And
Great.
I don't know why that. I think I fell
What
asleep.
happened?
I saw a completely different film because like I'm watching halfway through at the New York screen. I'm like, why the fuck didn't I like this? This movie is like made for me.
But that
Um,
happens at these festival
it
things that you
happens. You got
see
to
when you're
rewatch
so
things.
tired. Yeah.
You got to rewatch things. It's brilliant. I think Renata. If it wasn't for Jesse, she'd probably be my. Well, there's Rose Byrne. There's a lot of great female
Oh
performances
God, we're
this
gonna
year.
get to that. But
Yeah,
for
we're gonna get to.
adapted screenplay, One Battle After Another and Hamnet, they seemed locked, right?
Yeah, those are pretty locked in, right? And then like Wake Up Dead Man, because that franchise has just gotten all it's gotten the previous two entries in. I have Train Dreams.
I
That is
can't wait to see that.
such a novel um, kind of built screenplay. Like it feels like an old book, and it's based on a book, so it has that feeling to it. Trying to think of some other stuff that would be in there. I don't
Begonia, we're not talking about that
maybe
much, but I don't know.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
oh,
Like
I know one I have to ask you about, which we're hardly talking about, and that's Deliver Me from Nowhere.
I think that the people are going to be surprised that that's going to come back around.
Oh,
Like
you think so?
I think so. Like I think that because he's going to be in play, and I think they're going to talk. And at Middleburg, they're sending the author to talk about the film, and yeah, I feel like there's going to be like you can get into sound, screenplay, both the Jeremys, picture. That's five,
Hmm.
and we have to remember too that like there's a lot of people predicting in picture Neon to get three and Netflix to get three and Warner Brothers to get two. And that's not how this works. Like three studios do not nominate 8 of the spots. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like it's they usually spread it out. And that's a movie, Christina, you've seen it. Plays really well with an older audience. And so that could and he's very good and you're going to have Springsteen pushing him the entire time. It's yeah, it's kind of like it sits in that 8 to 10 range of just like this
Yeah.
is going to get in and you're all going to get mad about it, but you're going to have to just understand that's just how it is. Like it's one of those where it's just like it's going to get in, it's probably going to get in, so but don't get too mad about it now. Just know that I said it here first that
Ah, you
it's probably
did. But
gets
what about
in.
the Linklater movies and screenplay though?
I would love if well I think Blue Moon goes into original,
Original, yeah.
I believe, which I would love for that to get in. And I think Ethan Hawke should get into actor. He's phenomenal in that movie. Some of the best work he's delivered in like a decade. And I think Nouvelle Vague, like it's difficult about that movie because like I think it's so beautifully made and it's so great for Linklater and he's having such a great run here in this new wave, literally a new wave in his
Wait.
career. But like they lost out on the French submission
Yeah.
for Cannes to it was just an accident, rightfully so. And so it's like, God, where does that movie get in? What does it even place? Like, does it move? And so I just think it moves down in the pecking order
It's
of things. And I think
small and niched and
yeah, they played it
cineast.
everywhere. And, Zoe Deutsch has been getting little prizes. And I just think that movie is just going to be sadly one that just kind of fades away. But I think Blue Moon, because it's Sony Pictures Classics, I think you got to keep an eye on that because they're very good about handling films from directors and auteurs. Like they did this with uh, Almodovar so well, and I would in an actor race that's kind of like what's going to happen that last spot. Ethan Hawke being a previous nominee and getting the medallion at Telluride,
Hmm.
he could do
He
something.
could
It
make it
could
in.
it could make it in. Yeah.
Let's talk about the supporting actors and actors. Let's talk actors. You said that Best Actress is stacked. Well, supporting actress is pretty stacked too, I have to say. With I'm thinking of Ariana, you have the women from One Battle After Another, you have the sentimental women. I'm seeing Tiana Taylor, Inga
Hmm.
Ebsdotter Liljas, Elle Fanning, and then I'm really 100%, I have to say, I'm going for Amy Madigan. I think she's going to get in.
I'm with you at this point. You and I are look at us. We're on the same wavelength today. This is
One
great.
is missing, though. I think I said four. I'm not sure who I'm.
So here's the four that I have as of right now, and nothing's changed in the last week. So I have Tiana Taylor, and I have I'm never gonna get her full name right. But Inga um from
Ibsdotter Liljas.
thank you. That's why I have Christina here. I'm gonna have her for sentimental value. I have Amy Madigan, and I have two like kind of wild cards. I have two. I see this. I'm the only one that sees this right now, but I think this is gonna happen. One, I have Glenn Close for Wake Up Dead Man, which
Oh,
which I could easily see that happening.
fun.
I mean, it's unlike any of the other performers that have tried to get nominated for these films because it's Glenn Close. And she is like Oscar like
Oh,
nomination
gosh,
royalty.
yeah.
And
Good one.
when you see the film, you haven't seen the film yet,
No.
have you? When you see the film, she's incredible in it, hilarious. Josh O'Connor's great in that movie too. And
And she
obviously Daniel,
loves a good campaign.
she loves a good campaign. She's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And then the other one I don't have Ariana Grande in right now
You
because
don't?
I don't.
Okay.
I have Emily Watson in for Hamnet, and I
Yeah,
kn-
I
and I
mean,
think people,
loved her.
I think people think I'm nuts when it comes to this. But if Hamnet and One Battle After Another are these strong top two contenders, and everybody says they are, doesn't it feel right that she gets like maybe the Globe, maybe BAFTA, and it's a BAFTA nomination that comes out of nowhere and gets her the Oscar nomination? Emily Watson, and if we've seen that film in those emotional scenes that Jesse Buckley's going through, the steady, firm hand in those scenes to be the opposite of those emotions is Emily Watson. and I think she does have scenes
She does.
that
No, I like that.
that
That's
she could
good
get
work.
in.
I have
And I
Gwyneth before that, though.
see, I don't know. I think like everybody's. I didn't hear a ton. The Timmy praise was so crazy for Marty Supreme. Um,
But you know
I
who
actually,
else in Marty Supreme is Pamela Adlon's daughter, the Odessa
that's
Zayon.
who I think
Yeah.
could get in. Honestly, I mean, I wanted to ask you about this, and this is honestly a conversation for actors as well. But this is a conversation you can have here because Chase Infinity moved from her to
Hmm.
lead actress for One Battle After Another, and I was curious what you thought of that move in Warner Brothers placing her in that category
I don't know. It feels like they want to make room in supporting, and
for Tiana.
yeah, and they kind of figure Chase is going to get one eventually because I don't know that it's a strange it's a move that doesn't benefit Chase Infinity.
No, I think that it would. I see.
Or am I wrong?
I think that she would be locked in supporting
Oh,
actress.
absolutely.
Her and Tiana lock it in. Don't worry about it. They're the two halves of this movie. From the female perspective, that really carry it. I think what they when now I've seen the film twice since the announcement, and I get it. I understand what they're trying to do here. Like they're saying that the back half of this, like the for the first 40 minutes is to the Tiana Taylor show, right? And when Leo's there and everything. Second act, it's like it's Chase and Leo. And it's about this father-daughter relationship. And she has the scenes. And it's about and a lot of her performance in the back half of the movie becomes like a silent performance or the action sequences, her driving in the car, her evading Sean Penn, evading, her, trying to survive and seeing the survival. So it's a very physical performance for her.
Hmm.
It's her film debut. That's very rare to get into lead spots. But if the movie is so strong and you're buying into the emotional ending of the film, which includes both those characters, I don't see how you can't include her in Best Actress in like the fourth or fifth spot. But the movie's so strong right now. I have her in the third spot because just off the back of the strength of the film. But I'm not. But I can easily see that as the season goes on, her falling back down,
Hmm.
but she's gonna win all the newcomer awards.
Oh yeah.
She'll probably get nominated at places. I wouldn't be surprised if she missed. I would be sad if she missed because I think she's incredible in the film. But also, I think that this opens up the door, yes, for Tiana Taylor to just dominate the category because she's so good.
Yes, I
And
think so too.
when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, it reminds me of Mahershala Ali, where it is this performance that dominates this first third, and the actions of the character
It
impact the
lays
rest of the
over it.
film.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is
It's like a
the spirit,
mhm.
and the character comes back around in voiceover with that wonderful letter that if you're not crying by the end of that, then you don't have a soul. So like it's
Yeah, who and some soulless person was saying that that letter was written by the DiCaprio character.
who said that?
I don't even remember, but I remember thinking, what?
Get the fuck out
Just
of
to,
here. Like
just
there's
think
been a
about it
lot
for a
of
minute.
there's been a lot of stupid shit going on out there in
I'm
the
just
world.
saying.
Like we're
So
putting
now
out
you have,
breadies.
so now you
We're
can
putting
complain about billionaires and whoever the fuck said that,
well, I
that
mean, like I've got a problem with the
Bob wrote
trades.
the letter. Well, he would get his daughter on his side.
No, that doesn't seem like PTA.
I'm
That's
just saying
very
it's out
no.
there.
I understand what you're saying. I think that that's massively manipulative and would undermine the entire film. And I don't think that PTA's got a wicked sense of humor. There's no way he would do
No,
something
no,
like
just
that.
saying.
It would undermine, I think, the ending of the last little
Absolutely.
the
I mean, it got me, but it sort of knocks you over when you think
it's like
about
what a cynical way to think of this movie.
yes,
Jesus Christ.
that person's not
No.
crying anyway.
No, that sounds like they're hanging out with Bret Easton Ellis, for
Mm.
God's sakes. Like they don't sound like they're or they're with the trades running all the like Ben Shapiro's of the world who like I give a crap what those people think about this movie. Like who cares? But yeah, those. I mean, do you have anybody different? Do you see anybody differently in the supporting
I
actress category?
don't. I don't. We were talking about Sinners before. I wouldn't mind if Wunmi Musaku was her name, right?
Yeah.
If I
Hmm.
remember correctly. I also think Regina Hall is great, but those are the ones I have
See, I don't get the
as well.
Regina Hall business. I think that that's just because they love Regina Hall. People love
I think
Regina
so too.
Hall, but like I think she's great in her part, but
And she won't get in, I
there's
think.
not enough there. Like there's
She's such so great.
but she's such
But
a
it,
just a great little part in it. It's so important. I get it.
yeah.
I get it.
And supporting actor, I mean, Sean Penn, Paul Mescal, and Stellan. I mean, they're just in, right? I can't see any.
I think there's like four locks
Yeah, and the other one?
because I think Sandler's in for Jay Kelly.
Nice.
I think all four of those guys are in. Like
Jay Kelly, I think, is going to get redemption. It's such a good movie. I loved
it's
it. I
playing
don't
really
know.
well. It played so well at New York,
Nice.
and it's going to be at AFI, and it is played really, really
Oh, I'm
well.
happy to hear that.
I think it's going to play really well at AFI because, and it's the opening night film at Middleburg. It's going to do really well. People have really responded to it, and yeah, they moved Paul Mescal or they kept him in supporting actor, and then you have Stellan and Sean Penn who are like trading back and forth, niceties to one another.
Yeah.
So
Okay, who's
I
five?
for me right now, I have Benicio del Toro.
Nice.
I just you have mentioned it. I took my mom to see it, and she's like, I was like, "Who's your favorite character?" And she went, "Oh, Benicio."
Hmm.
And I went. She went, "Is he gonna win?" I said, "No, it's gonna be Sean Penn." She goes, "Oh, that makes sense. Sean Penn's so good, but Benicio should get in, right?" And that's been the overwhelming thing that you come out of this movie. It's like I talked with my co-host over at Director Watch, Jay Liberty. He's like, I was like, "Who's your favorite character?" And he goes, "Oh, it's Benicio. Like he's so good in this movie." It's been like a while since he's been nominated. He had this in Phoenician Scheme, and if the whole a few beers thing keeps going around on VOD and stuff, like I think that part of Leo's journey is with through the eyes and lens of what's going on with
Hmm.
Benicio, and yeah, Ocean Waves, Bob. Like
Ocean Way.
I think he could get in, and I think that that doesn't
Oh,
hurt
I'd
Penn. I
love
just
that.
think it's a sign of strength for the film. I don't
But
know
if
who would be a replacement at this
Well,
point.
if you're correct in the fact that Deliver Me from Nowhere comes
Jeremy
steamrolling in,
Strong,
then
yeah,
Jeremy, yeah,
Jeremy Strong, or
nominated last year and
yeah. I mean, I don't see anybody from Marty Supreme. I
no.
don't think anybody from Wicked. I don't see Delroy Lindo or Miles Canton getting in for Sinners. I don't think that that's going to happen. That's
Jacob Elordi, I don't know.
Jacob Elordi maybe for Frankenstein. There's a lot of praise for him out there. There
Mm.
really is. There's like surprisingly a lot of praise out there for him, and the performance is better. But there's also I've watched Frankenstein again. I liked it more the second time, Christina, but my God, there's still some moments in there I
Oh
laugh
no.
way too
Yeah.
hard where it's like, the spirit of the forest. You know what I mean? It's like Jesus Christ. It's silly, but it's a transformation. They're gonna probably
I
get the
know, I'm
makeup
just saying.
nom. It could happen.
All right, actor. Chalamet.
Chalamet's not in my top spot.
Okay,
I
DiCaprio's in your top?
I have Leonardo DiCaprio,
Hmm.
the original Timothy Chalamet.
The
As
original. But don't
yeah,
you
I
think
like
he's passing the baton?
no, Leo's not passing the baton at all. When the hell would he ever pass is Tom Cruise passing the baton to Glenn Powell?
I don't know.
Like no, they're gonna make movies until the wheels fall off. I have Leo in here. I think that it's one of those. The trend of the last couple of years is that if you're winning Best Picture, if you're winning Director, you're carrying a lead actor win or actress win, and I think Leo. I think it might be one of Leo's best performances. Like
Oh
like
yeah.
like top three
I just don't
performances.
think he's the performance. I don't think he's the movie.
Oh, I disagree.
Mm.
I think they're all the movie, and that's why
That's
they're
what I'm
all gonna
saying. They're
win.
they're
They're all
all the
gonna
movie.
win.
That's what I mean. That but you do have Timothy in
Yes,
there. Yeah.
he's in my five right now just because I don't know how strong the film's going to be. I know he's
Hmm.
going to be strong. I don't know if he's going to win for this. Um, I have to once again see it. So it's a little bit like me just being like, he's in my five, don't worry.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
but I have Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent.
yes.
I think that
Yes.
if anything for that movie outside of international feature, I actually think he's the more of the lock to get in than like director or even picture for that matter. Then I have Jeremy Allen White, and then I have George Clooney for Jay Kelly because I think
Over
if you're going
Ethan.
over Ethan right now,
All
I
right.
just think that also it's a Netflix film and Netflix is very good at getting nominations for people. George has been doing all the Q&As, has been going to all the premieres. He's been
I don't mind. He's great in that. It's just the reception, besides like you and me,
no people
was
people really loved it out of New
Jorge loved
York.
it too. Yeah.
Yeah, they gave he went to both Q&As in New York. He did not have to do that.
Mhm.
He was charming. He
Well,
was,
that's the least you can ask of
and
George
that's the
Clooney.
thing. He's going to the parties and he's shaking hands and he's doing interviews. And I think that if you like that film, you're going to like then Sandler and Clooney. And it's a and they keep saying it. And he's talking about it how like I'm different than this guy, and he's talking about how the differences of that and therefore his career. So, and I think that he's more of a sure thing than somebody like you know Ethan Hawke or Michael B. Jordan. I don't think that that's a realistic thing at this point. Like I just think that people love Michael B. Jordan in that movie. I don't know really what it's been since Nicolas Cage that we've had a dual performance nomination and adaptation get in, and I don't think that he's going to get in. I mean, there's probably some others I'm not thinking of at this moment, but Chalamet is the one. He's standing right there. Like if they just want to, the only way Chalamet wins, and I've been saying this, is the only way he wins is in a sweep. He has to sweep everything. He has to win everything because he's young. And when you're young, you got to sweep. You got to be like Kieran Culkin. You got to be like Zoe Saldana last year. If you're in a tight race, then I would go with the film that's closest to win Best Picture, and that would be Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After
Hmm.
Another.
Hmm.
And so that's why I have Leo at one because I don't think that I think if like Timmy, they'll probably run him in comedy, and I don't at the Globes, and I don't think he's going to beat Leo there. And I don't think that he's gonna. He might win Critics' Choice. He might win SAG. He's not going to win the BAFTA. That might be Wagner Moura, honestly. And if it's like a really messed up, weird Best Actor race, then I'm just gonna go kind of Francis McDormand style, kind of Killian Murphy, kind of Mikey
Will the
Madison style, and just give
BAFTAs
him the
have
Oscar.
Paul? Will the BAFTAs have Paul Mescal in supporting?
That's a very good question.
Because that I
That's a
think
very good
will make
question.
a difference.
I think if he's in supporting, man, that's gonna be really interesting because I think that that movie's gonna do really well there.
I think so too.
Um,
That's why I'm asking.
but also I think One Battle will do really well. Its international box office has done just as good as his actually it's done better internationally at the box office than it
It
has in the
has. Oh
United
no. Oh
States.
sure. Yeah.
So it has pull. Yeah. I think he'll run in I mean, I think he'll run in supporting there. But yeah, that's where then Jesse comes into play though, doesn't it?
But let's go. Let's move to this. Best
Yeah.
actress, the incredible Jessie Buckley, of course, and Renate. Those are just in. And please get Rose Byrne in there.
I have her in my five spot. I
Oh
have Rose Byrne
yes.
in my five. She's the one where it's like that's gonna be the critics push. I
Hmm.
really feel like she could win the Gotham in the indie spirit and get the critics behind her, and she gets in as a solo nom. She's
Yeah, but
incredible in this
big
movie.
competition with Jessie though, who's just.
Oh, and she's not gonna
I mean,
win.
no,
Like
no. I'm just.
I think I don't know how anybody beats Jessie Buckley in this
Well, you
movie. Like
don't.
she's,
And no one really should.
I mean, like I love no, Renata's so
Oh,
good, but
she's
it's
so
so
great.
understated, and everything. Jessie Buckley's giving you the performance. You know what I mean? She is giving you everything. She's the emotional. I mean, like it's all she's giving you everything. Like the ending. If you don't cry at the beginning, then you're crying in the middle. If you're not crying in the middle, you're crying at the end.
Or you're like
Like,
me and just crying the whole
crying the
time
whole
and
time.
getting
You know.
but in a
And
good way.
yeah, I have Jesse in, and
And so
that's
who are the
3
two
and 4.
others?
Well, I have Chase Infinity in right now.
Oh, you do?
And then I have Amanda Seyfried for the Testament of Anne Lee. I
Oh,
wasn't
not Cynthia.
not Cynthia
Everyone else
either.
has Cynthia.
Well, they can have whatever the hell they want. I think this is I have to always bring this up. I always have to be the asshole in the room. So
Maybe you
it's
should think
very
about
rare.
that.
It's very rare. You know what? Being the asshole means you have to tell some uncomfortable truths. And then when they happen, then you look like the asshole for bringing it up. But outside of a global pandemic, it's very rare that the Academy will nominate two women of color. And that was a year with very limited choices. And there are a lot of choices this year in this category because we're also not mentioning like Jodie Foster for Be Bay or Julia Roberts for After the Hunt or Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love,
Who's amazing.
which are
Emma
performances that are
Stone for Begonia.
Emma Stone for Begonia, which are very much women in play here. You know, we're talking about I probably am making the stupid thing of the fact that I've got only two women that have been previously nominated in this category as opposed to three, because they love their favorites. And so probably that's a nod for Cynthia, but that's a knock against Chase. And it's not to say like, oh, two black women have to fight each other for one spot. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the Academy does that to them. We are going through 100 years, close to of doing this, and they haven't even given Best Director to a black person, male or female,
Mm.
you know, or non-gender conforming. However, whoever, they have not given a black person that award. And they've only give a black person this award one time. And when Cynthia was nominated previously, she was, there was not another black actress. I remember last year being like, oh, I think Marianne Jean Baptiste is going to get in alongside her. That didn't happen. So sadly, I go at this thinking, well, I think these other performances are very strong. Rose Byrne's probably the one that I like, you could push out, but like that's A24's best actress play. Amanda Seyfried, that's Searchlight's best actress play. Chase Infinity's in the best picture front
The
runner.
Rose
Same with
Byrne
Jessie Buckley.
performance is pretty undeniable.
It's a pretty
It's
undeniable performance too. And Renata's in sentimental value, and
mhm.
she's incredible. And she's going to get nominated because not just of this film, but because she didn't get nominated for worst person in the world. And she's the Norwegian Meryl Streep, as
Yes, I
Christina
like
Young
to
Bureau
say.
has been putting on all the posters. So like, and then there's Cynthia Erivo in a movie that looks like it was made in an AI factory, and yet she got nominated for the first time. It's very rare that these performances get nominated back to back with something like this. Of course, we've never had something like this before. I don't think people, once again, are ready for the fact that that second act of that movie has worse songs, and we'll get all
But
Wizard of
everyone's talking about
Ozzy.
the new ones.
Yeah, but who cares? Because they're going to be crap
Well,
too, And so I just think that that movie's going to have a fall like most part twos have at the Oscars, right? And so, and I think it's going to be in those categories. Now, I could be wrong, and I would be glad to be wrong because I would love more women of color and more stories about people of color being put into these categories and being mentioned and being highlighted. But I also know that this academy is lazy, and I also know that these people every single year do things that take away from the fact that I think that we're getting more and more progressive and more open and more accepting of other stories other than the typical shit that we normally see. And the other thing is, it's like Hamnet and Testament of Anne Lee are biopics. You know what I mean?
mhm.
In a lot of ways. So you have to factor in that there's probably another performance in here we're not even talking about that, like Hedda, for another example, that's an adaptation or somebody that's
Right.
been made before that they've seen before. Like they love stuff like that. So, and maybe once again, that bodes well for Cynthia, but then that hurts somebody like Chaser Rose. It's not a great thing to talk about, but it is something you have to consider. And that's why I have Cynthia. I mean, she's probably like 6 or 7 at this point. But I also think like you watch Jennifer Lawrence and you go, how the fuck don't you nominate that?
Also
You know,
undeniable.
like that's like one
And
of
then all of
those.
a
So it's
sudden you
like,
have Sydney Sweeney in for Christie. That
yeah, you really do. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not
I
saying anything that's not wrong. I mean,
oh,
she's going to be
just saying.
around. Yeah, and the people are going to try to make that happen.
All
She'll
right,
probably get Glenn Powell to do a
let's
Q&A for her. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do best picture. I'm gonna come back to you in a few weeks with the other categories. But before
Okay.
we move into Marty, let's do
Mhm.
best picture. Your rundown today, mid-October.
I'm going to go 10 to 1.
Good.
Right. So I have Marty Supreme at 10. I have Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere at 9. Christina's most anticipated film left this year. I have Avatar, Fire, and Ash.
Ah,
I have Sinners at 7.
so low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think people are going to be surprised at how low this is going to be. Like,
All
they're going to
right.
miss things. Uh, and then you're going to get mad here. I have Frankenstein at 6. Yeah, I know. You can roll your eyes at me all you want. It's fine. Um, it was just an accident at 5. Jay Kelly at 4 because of the Netflix of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Sentimental value at 3. Hamnet at 2, and a very distant front runner as to this point is One Battle After Another. Like it's gonna do so well on a preferential ballot.
It's gonna
At,
do well. It's gonna do, but you have no other choice. You don't have
no,
no, you don't have Begonia,
no, no.
Train Dreams.
That's really close. I just don't. I just didn't. But again, that was me doing the math. I'm like, oh, I have 2 Netflix in here already. I can't do 3 Netflix.
You know what?
It's
I have one that I think was gonna come
oh,
because since Cannes, this has been the movie that
see,
every single person that I meet that's seen it loves it, and that's Secret Agent.
yeah.
I
I don't
think
think you're wrong.
that's like I still have
And then
not
that's
met a
3
single
neon
person.
films in.
I know. Well,
3 international films in 1 year.
I'm just saying that that is a movie that every
It's going to
single
play really
person,
well with the
even
guilds.
people
Yeah.
that generally aren't that interested in international features, just love this movie.
It plays really well and it
It
moves so
does.
well
It moves and
and
it's sort of a mix of genres. People love Wagner more, even if the ones who've only watched him before on other Netflix shows. And I think that we'll see that there.
I don't think you're wrong. I just again math. Um like, I also think, if they do go for Wicked, it's right there. Um
They
you
could go
know,
for Bigelow.
they could go for Bigelow. That's very much in play. They're moving that. I feel like I'm going to be very confident in Bigelow and that being. I said at the beginning of the year, I think that movie's going to be the killer for Netflix, and I think I'm good with sticking with that prediction. Um, it's not going to be a movie like Anemone. It won't be like that movie.
Oh no.
Ugh. No. Ugh. He's not getting an actor either. That's not happening. I just think that is it weird, Christina, that we are really like it's like 3 films and that's it.
It is. It's that
And
type of
really,
year.
when you come down to it, it's
It's
kind
just
of
one.
just it's just one. Like it's like they would have to screw up so bad. It would have to be like a Amelia Perez esque meltdown at this point in order for it not to win.
Oh no, I
Right?
agree. But I think the other movies, when we come back and talk about below the line, we're going to see so much love for example, Sinners, that it could
Yeah.
sort of move stuff up. You know what I mean? Just in
No, no, no,
terms of,
for sure. It's definitely a movie that's going to do well. um, it's going to do well below the line. Like that's the first. What's going to be so funny is like below the line is going to do so well, and then that's going to be like the first half of the announcements in the morning.
Exactly.
And then like the second half, you're gonna be like, wait, what the fuck is Sinners? Like it's gonna be like people are gonna I think
What
people are
happened?
gonna get upset. Like and I but here's the thing. If you listen to this show and you listen to Christina and myself, we're telling you this now, then you have time to prepare, you know?
You sort of
And if the movie gets
breathe.
not
Yeah.
and here's the thing, if he doesn't get in director, but he gets into screenplay and he gets as a producer, guess what? Ryan Coogler's still an Oscar nominee, everybody. And that's okay. It's okay. But I hope he gets in because some of the
I
best
think it
direction of the
will.
year.
At this moment, I think it will. But next time we talk, we'll see if things have moved around. But why don't we talk about Mr. Daniel Day-Lewis's very talented wife?
Yes,
Because
very
I want
much
to
so.
talk to you about Rebecca Miller's five-part documentary series, Mr. Scorsese, which will be out on October 17th on Apple TV Plus, which is basically, she calls it more of a portrait than a documentary of the great Martin Scorsese. Um, she was given access to a whole bunch of stuff that we hadn't seen before. There's lots of interviews with collaborators, his family, all three of his daughters, of course, De Niro, DiCaprio, Mick Jagger, who else? Robbie Robertson, Thelma. Um, it doesn't shy away from kind of the darker chapters of his life with
Mhm.
his struggles with drug addiction and so on. But before we get any further, what'd you think?
Well, justice for Hugo because she didn't.
That's not in there, I agree.
That's not in it. That
But it's
was.
not a filmography documentary, but yeah.
I don't know. It felt pretty much like a film. Every film Christina is brought up except Hugo, so you get away with not saying, "Oh, it's not a filmography
All
documentary,"
right,
but it's like
okay.
I was like, I don't know. She had enough time for Shutter Island. She didn't have enough time for Hugo, which is a movie about what? Making movies
Okay,
and the
okay.
power and magic of movies. It's like it's right. That's a layup. You know what I mean? A layup out there for everybody, as you don't know, is a basketball term. I can bring up basketball on the show. I cannot bring up football on the show. So Christina will get mad at me for that. But I thought it was really good. I mean, I do think it's a little at times paint by numbers. Like we're going from this film, we're going from this film, we're going from this film. So it does feel, as a massive fan of his, and I know you are as well, it does feel a little Wikipedia at times, right? Where you're just like you're going from like this film to the next one, and what did Thelma shoot for this thing and Goodfellas and stuff like that. But here's the great part about it is that every time it gets formulaic, Rebecca Miller injects herself into it to ask the questions that we want to ask.
See, yes, this is the brilliant thing because I loved it. I'm just gonna stop you there because yeah, she goes through a lot, but she has other questions in there and she's
Yeah.
seeing themes and you're going back to who he was and yeah, we know the or his Italian American roots and growing up on Elizabeth Street and the all this, but there, meeting his childhood friends, what were their names? Yurikola and Sally Gaga. I mean, that was like my favorite thing of the whole. Meeting these people from his childhood really gave me a whole new outlook on what shaped him and who he is and what he's seeing and why he's using, his use of violence, his use of looking back at his explorations of faith, to put it that
Mhm.
way. So I thought in the Wikipedia ness of it was something else.
No, I agree because I think that she's interviewing like it's one thing to interview like Leo and De Niro and Daniel Day Lewis, which I wonder how she got that interview.
That was a hard one. She
That was
must
a
have
real
gone through
hard
that
one.
agent.
He
Sit in
looked
the
like
chair over
he
there,
looked like
honey.
he straight got out of the cobbler shop and just came and said like, "Who are we talking about? Martin." Okay, cool. Um, but um, but it's the first episode is the one that made me cry the most because it's going down his family and his friends that are still alive
Oh, I love his
and the
friends.
survival of him
Those two
of getting
brothers.
out of that area and the brothers and his uncle who was part of the mob and his father who was it almost felt like a Bronx Tale, the De Niro film where it's like you've got this brother that's connected to the mob and everything. You have this other brother that wants out of it and doesn't, and that's his father and doesn't want to be a part of any of it. His mother is this character. They get kicked out of where they're at and have to go back to where they originally came from in
And
New
then back
York
again.
and then
Yeah.
back again and being sort of cast out in New York society once he goes to school um, and just yeah, all these and by the end of the first episode, not knowing what kind of filmmaker he wants to be, being erratic. The Cassavetes telling him to like essentially grow the fuck up and find your voice after making Boxcar Bertha and and some other just low rent films. And I love the way the first episode ends. It's like because then I went to this party and I met this guy, and the Rolling Stones music plays, and you see De Niro sitting in the chair, and you're like, "Can you hear me knocking?" And you're like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome!"
I was
Like,
just
yes,
screaming at that. And don't you think De Niro did a really good interview? I mean, he can,
he isn't. He let's
isn't
just
he
say it.
amazing in this?
He can be a dick
Oh,
when it
he can,
comes
and
to
he can be so
interviews.
good. And he
He
just
can be so
hates the
command,
whole thing. And
but he's willing to sit there with the guys because he'll do anything for this man.
oh,
He would do anything for Martin Scorsese. They have been friends
and
for
Scorsese would do anything for
like
him, though.
60 years, right?
Yes.
And so like they're doing this and De Niro's probably the most candid and hilarious and honest he's been about the
And
process. I mean, the one that shocked me the most, which is one of my favorite Scorsese films, is The King of Comedy
that
and how
was
much it was
fascinating.
taking out of Scorsese because he was so out of it, the drugs and the just the he didn't want to be there and and De Niro being like, no, we need to do this picture. Like this is what we need to do. And then him being in the hospital after the rehab and the relapse and everything, thinking like he's done, he can't do it anymore. And De Niro's the one being like, hey, what if we made this movie? And it's called
De
Raging
Niro
Bull.
gave him so many ideas too,
So much. Like
right?
that's like what's so crazy about it. Like, and then it's the same thing with Leo. Because when they do the aviator stuff, the aviator's all from like Leo's mind. Like he saved this project. It was supposed to be like Michael Mann originally. Nolan was even asked to do it at the time, and but Leo had had the book for so long, and it was the first time like he got to produce something, and he got Scorsese involved with it, and it really like revamped the creative process that the two
Hmm.
of those
Hmm.
have now, and that's why it's like it's very similar what Leo had to De Niro, but De Niro's like literally saving his life, and it's so
Yes.
it and it's that was obviously very emotional. And I mean, the other the great moment, I think it's in the second episode, is all the stuff on the last waltz.
Uh-huh.
How
Oh, with
he's making New
Robbie.
York, yeah, how he's making New York, New York, and this movie is a disaster. And they're like, he's got a 4 hour cut of this movie that's actually the good version of it, but the 2 hour one that we have is crap. And he's like, I don't care if we go over budget, I got to shoot this thing. And Robbie Robertson, the late Robbie Robertson, for her to have this interview because he's passed since,
Oh yeah.
it's like gold.
And it's so honest. And another one who I think is amazing who is also Isabella Rossellini, who also really
Yeah,
gives like a very straightforward, this is
his
what it was
ex-wife.
like being
Yeah,
being married to him. And I've never heard such a good statement from, I mean, we get a lot of interviews with people's children who we obviously understand have not spent the most amount of time with their children when they're sort of filmmaking narcissist. And the one daughter who says, all three of my sisters and myself had a different father. I thought that was a great statement, and it tells you everything about the different eras of Marty Scorsese and who he was. And a reason I think that she got so much from him is also because, of course, Rebecca Miller is the daughter of American novelist Arthur Miller and a legendary photographer, Guillemot, and she knows, and of course with Daniel Day-Lewis, I think she has a specific sensibility to what it's like being in and around people who are consumed by their art and
No,
also by
for
Americana.
no, I totally agree with you. I
I
mean,
don't know what's not to like here. Your little trepidation because
no,
Hugo
I'm not.
isn't in it is not working. Like I thought this was amazing. I
No,
really loved
I
it.
just thought I just thought that it again, like I thought the structure of it was like at times a little like, oh, we're going to the next film, we're going to the next film,
But the
and
reason, but yeah, but
but the content in it is great. Like it's formulaic, but it's deeply tender and emotional. That's what I said in the my review for it up on the on the awards watch. I'm like, it's formulaic. There's no question. You cannot say that the structure is not formulaic, but it supersedes that with new insight and details that make this thing worth it. I mean, there's
and the fantastic interviews with him.
fantastic,
I mean,
candid interviews with him. The one interview we haven't brought up, Sharon Stone.
yes,
The stuff with Casino is heartbreaking. Of like
it's
just thinking about this woman who is, she's like she's
talk about a
terrified of
woman.
him. She's the one woman in the whole room, and she's terrified. And yet he treated her with so much kindness
And
and
she
took care of her
told
because she
him,
wanted it. And
yes.
that's what he wanted. He
And
and he saw that and he realized I have to do the same
what the
thing
fuck
for
am I
Bob
doing?
what I
Yeah.
do for her because
Yeah.
she's Ginger's such an important character in that film. And it's like the experience of her life is what she mentions. You know what I mean? And Marty Marty flipped on a switch and shows the adaptability and understanding of, oh, I need to be like this for her. I can't just be like this for De Niro or Pesci or whatever. I mean, the other great stuff in this is you're right. It's like the fact that she's getting these candid interviews, not only from Isabella Rossellini. I think the stuff in here that hits hard, hits very close, is from his first two daughters. Because we all know online
Yes. Yeah, we know
Francesca,
Francesca.
and we're like, oh, the
The
TikToks are
first two are
great.
fascinating. Yeah.
But the first daughter is almost like you could feel a sense of resentment and a sense of frustration and anger at her father, even though this is supposed to be a documentary that celebrates him. She's giving, he's probably got final cut on all this along with her, and he's fine having it in there because he knows I was not there for her.
Weren't you
This whole,
thinking sentimental value that this is like the theme of the
I
year
was
with
thinking
these?
Nat and Jay Kelly. I was
Yes,
thinking
it's the
because
theme of the year.
I was thinking about Inga's character with the second daughter being on
Yes.
Age of Innocence and her talking about
Exactly.
when
That was the
I was,
best thing in my life when I got to film with him on Age of Innocence.
yeah, she got to feel like she was like, what is, how did she say about Gustav in the film? Like,
Yeah.
you saw me. And
We
then the
just did a
minute the
show
film was
about this.
done, you were gone. Yeah, you and Jorge did this entire show on this, and it was wonderful. And it was just like, yeah, like the minute the cameras were off, I was back to being this thing in a
Back to
cupboard.
the yeah.
Yeah. And it's so good
It's
because you think, oh, that's a movie thing. No,
and then you
that's
understand
Martin
sort of
Scorsese.
what's why, how he's sort of compensating and with Francesca and doing such a, incredible having an
With his
incredible relationship with
grandchildren.
her. Yeah. With
Yeah,
grandchildren and
he's real. I think that what they don't touch on, but it's kind of implied, is that he realized he made those mistakes and he's overcompensating in a way that's, I
that's
think that
fine. Dude, that's
yeah, they're
why
willing to,
not? That's one
yeah,
thing I got out of it with
very
him.
forgiving.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
that he has actually looked back
Hmm.
many times in his life when he's gotten up after being a total asshole. He
Yeah.
has actually reevaluated what the hell was I doing and changed. And you can't say that a lot about a lot of people.
No, because he's not like that. He's very, it's, what it was reminding me a lot of my grandfather and how my dad would talk about my grandfather. Is that like when he was young, my grandfather was very hard on him. He was a military man. He was very strict. And as the years went on, a couple health scares, six grandkids,
Mm.
um, you know, getting into your 70s and your 80s and you retire and stuff, you grow soft and you realize like I made some mistakes. I wasn't perfect, but I'm going to do my best in the last years that I have to make sure that everybody is taken care of and everybody knows how much they're loved. And saying the word I love you means more now than it should ever have because, and hopefully that there's forgiveness inside of that love that's
Good
being
for
given.
him.
And I think that like,
And good for Marty.
yeah, I think Marty does that a lot here. And I think there's I mean, I didn't know to the extent of how his current wife, as long, his
Oh,
wife of the last
yeah.
26 years is, but that's also another thing. It's like he found love finally because he finally settled down like himself, like because he was a maniac.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And on the drugs and everything. And when he finally settled down, he met this woman and he fell in love. And now, he's taking care of her. And it's a sacrifice. You know what I mean? And it's got to take a lot out of him. And he's in his 80s, emotionally, physically. You know what I mean? And yeah, all that's happening. He still wants to shoot and make the next film. And
He's just breathing cinema still.
Miller's getting like, I think what is it that he says at the end, which is why I wanted the doc to keep going. Was he's like, doctors say, I gotta slow down, but I got too many stories left in me, you
Oh,
know? And you're just like, fuck yeah, you do. So make one of them, damn it. Like, like it's and he's storyboarding still. The
yeah. At the
storyboarding
end, the picture
stuff.
of this, yeah, that was
Oh my
amazing.
God. The technical stuff of this is what got me like, I was so engrossed with it. Was like taking his sketches from when he was a kid and animating them and getting them come to life and
Just sitting
taking
in
his
that window with asthma. Yeah, it's
sitting in that
such
window, and that is the inspiration for all those low hanging
low.
crane shots.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
I
that
can't
he's hit.
believe that you don't just think this is an A plus.
No, I think that's it. What? Like, come on, it's great stuff. Like, not everything gets an A plus, Christina. But
Just because of
uh,
Hugo. I'm going to remind you of this.
no, I love it, and I think that it's. I think the other great stuff in it is, you talked about De Niro and you talk about, you know, DiCaprio, and is the real collaborator of his life, Thelma. And
Thelma.
those scenes where Thelma is re-showing you how she cut some of these iconic sequences,
Yeah, and Raging Bull and the whole.
Raging Bull and Goodfellas and
Mm.
Last Temptation of Christ. I forgot all about
And how
the
she says,
controversy of Last Temptation of Christ
yes.
too. By the way, I forgot about all that.
And how
So
she says
crazy.
that it's already cut, it's already edited in the script.
Yeah. So she doesn't have. I mean, she has to do a
It's
lot,
yeah, I mean
but
she's master, but still that the whole anyway,
she's
so would
using.
you recommend it?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Like, do you like cinema? Like, like, do you like movies?
I can't wait for
Do you
people to see it.
do you like Martin Scorsese? I mean, it's. I wouldn't recommend doing what I did and watch it 5 hours straight so that I can write a review for it. But um, take your time with it. It's a lot. But no, I mean, like, there was that moment too, and it was kind of emotional. It was like we invest so much time in hoping and praying our favorites get awards, and that acknowledgement of him saying that Miller gets where she's like, "Are you glad that you won your Oscar?" He's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, Do you regret that it didn't come sooner?" He goes, "No, I wasn't ready for it." Like the acknowledgement of like him winning an Oscar for Raging Bull or winning it for Taxi Driver. I think he knows it would have killed him
He
because
would have been dead. Yeah.
he would have
I mean,
done more and
his
more
ego
drugs.
drug maniac he was at
No,
the time,
I
that
think it
would
would have
not.
killed him. And so it happens when it happens. It happens at the right time. And I was thinking a lot about that with, I hate to bring it back to the earlier conversation. I was thinking a lot about that with PTA. I was thinking about the fact that like PTA was this smug, wonderfully arrogant little shit when he first came on the scene with Boogie Nights. Like, I could make whatever the one, and and Magnolia and the cigarette outside the theater and everything like that, right? And now when you hear him talk at these Q&As and things, he is reflective, he is quiet, he's patient. There's this warm love and tenderness that you hear from people that work with him and how open he is to collaboration. And it reminds you a lot of when I was listening to this documentary about that, about the fact that
True.
as he's gotten older, Marty is still as energetic to make movies, but man, he's open to more than just like my vision's the only vision that matters. And it's like you see Daniel Day-Lewis was talking about, you see this man, he's putting his soul out on the canvas, you know, and it's a lot. Even Kate Blanchett speaks on him about the Aviator stuff and just how in control he was.
Hmm.
And yeah, he's 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 the best.
He's the best.
He
Good stuff.
rolls.
All right. I'm going to let you go. But Ryan, I have a segment that I want to start
Oh,
doing with you at the end of our shows, if it works out. It's
hell yeah.
meant to be just a minute or two. The
Okay.
question is, do we need this?
Oh,
All right.
I love
So
it. I love a game where it
good.
sounds negative as shit. Let's go.
For this week, I want to ask you about the British limited TV series by Sky Studios, Amadeus, starring Will Sharp as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Paul Bettany as Salieri. The trailer dropped yesterday, looking quite a bit like the movie. So I'm going to ask you, do we need this?
No, we don't need this. We don't need this because the original movie is an all-time 5 out of 5 masterpiece. It is a one of the greatest Best Picture winners ever. One of the
Oh,
great movies of
absolutely.
the '80s. One of the great movies. Period. All-time performances from Holton, from and F. Murray Abraham, Milos Forman, the late Milos Forman. What a wonderful directed film. It just came out on 4K too. Fucking go watch that. Who needs
Because
to
the
watch?
trailer's looking a lot like
Oh yeah, I know it
we're
is.
making.
It looks like exactly shot for shot, color palette and all. And it just no, we don't need this. So no, that's the
Okay.
easiest way of saying it. Do you have any more?
No, that was the
Oh, it's
one for
just
the
one.
week.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's my one for the week.
With the, I have to
Can
figure
I
out the
ask you?
next one.
Can I ask you
Oh, you
something?
have one. Yes.
Yeah, I have one for you. This is a follow up to an episode we did last year. Is Kevin Costner's career dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Who
not
would have
looking
known that
good.
our episode took him down?
Our episode, I don't know what kind of karma we sent out there, but the whole Hollywood
You've read about all
Reporter
that,
thing.
right? The
Yeah.
for any of y'all that don't know out there, the whole Horizon um, production has been just an absolute
A mess.
logistical nightmare. Yeah, like I mean, there's allegations of sexual assault, there's verbal assault, there's the thing going over budget, there's actors, there's people not getting paid, there's all this stuff going on.
And no one's
Uh,
seeing it.
no one's seeing it. The
And
second part is
not
made.
even being done. Yeah.
Yeah, the third
Mm.
part I think is close to being made. He's trying to do the fourth. Like it is. It sounds like the biggest calamity of a person's career that you
Mhm.
we might ever see. Someone's gonna make a movie about this one day.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I want to see that. That
yeah,
we're
I,
good.
that'd be better than the damn
We need
Horizon
this.
movies anyway. Yeah, we need that. We
That
need
we need.
the fall
Exactly.
of Costner. You know what
The
I
Fall
mean?
of Costner. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna get
Yes,
like a
that's a
Ryan
good.
Murphy series about it more than a freaking movie about it.
Okay,
The,
that sounds
the
good.
House of Costner.
The House of Costner. That's a good one. Ryan, you'll be back sooner this time
Oh yeah,
around, right?
I'll be back. I'm always around. Yeah, we
I
got to
know
talk
you're.
Big Jim.
Oh, yeah, I will. I will do that with you, I promise.
I feel like wait, you've seen the other two,
We
yes?
don't need. Yes, of course I've seen them.
Okay. Are you
Reluctantly.
excited for this?
No.
Do we need Avatar 3?
No.
Do we need Big Jim's Japanese atomic bomb movie?
No.
No, we do not need that. That is a firm we do not need.
See,
So
this segment turned out to be very useful.
this is very good. We should be
Yeah.
doing this would be a whole freaking show. This
Yeah.
is what it is.
This is a new podcast.
Yeah.
Do we need
Do we
this?
need this with Christina Yearling Bureau and Ryan McQuade? Honestly, what a great show for a podcast. Do we need this?
Yes, I think that's great. I mean, if
With all the
someone send us,
podcasts in the
if we get
world?
some
Who needs
sponsors in that and we'll do it on video, we can do it the whole thing.
and then this is sponsored by whatever and be like, do we need them? And we kind of do.
Yes, that we need every
That
week.
we need. Oh.
Ryan, tell everyone where they can listen to everything else you do.
You can find all my work at awardswatch.com, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Ryan McQuade 77. If you like podcasts, we got the main show over at Awards Watch. We've got Director Watch. We're in the middle of the Hughes Brothers movie series. That is about to kick off with Menace to Society. I'm really excited about that series. And yeah, you can just catch all my stuff over there. And I'll be back before you know it.
And of course, you can follow Pop Culture Confidential wherever you get your podcasts, and Ryan will be on again soon. See you next time.
Bye.